You hear that? You hear that, Totri?
What is it?
It's the outside noise. Come on, hit the button, dude.
Wednesday! Yeah, and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show, of course, coming to you live from Studio K, presented by Circle K. Make sure you join Inner Circle for free by downloading that Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Anthony Totri, joined as always by my Strawberry Swirl Girl, of course, Woo! Eric Ruby. We've got the Daily Man behind the Mac making all of the magic happen. Guys, we've got a lot to get into today.
It's been quite the day.
It's been quite the day for you, especially. I mean, you showed up right at the buzzer.
I was on the freeway. I'm serious. 6 minutes ago.
You're just a busy boy.
I was on the freeway, and now I'm here. But we made it. Shout out to the Suns for hiring a head coach as I was dropping off my car to get fixed and going to get a rental car. So that made the morning real nice and real smooth. But I'm ready to talk about a little outside noise, a little ASU baseball. Just a nice little breath of fresh air from the doom and gloom that is Suns land.
Is it doom and gloom still?
Yeah, I mean, when is it not going to be doom and gloom
I
over
guess,
Suns?
I guess
it's not
fair.
the worst thing. This is not the Brian Gregory hire, but that is not what we are here to talk about today.
No,
That's
you're
what
right.
I'll be talking about at 3 o'clock.
Well, look, you mentioned the doom and gloom, and normally when we're talking Arizona State football, it doesn't feel like, at least in 2024, 2025, that there was a lot of doom and gloom to talk about. But surprise, ESPN has decided to make a fool of themselves yet again, this time with their latest college football power index. Now, the college football power index, it's obviously analytics based, et cetera. This is not necessarily like talking heads going and putting like these rankings or putting this index together. Not really how it works. I think for me, I don't know how much of the college football like index you actually have used in the past. For me, I think at the end of last season, kind of looking at Arizona State's chances week over week of like, oh, can they make the playoff? Can they go to the Big 12 championship game? I think that was really helpful to see like percentages and chances. But if you look at where ESPN's college football power index is right now for 2025 and kind of where it is set Arizona State, we'll go into, the wins and where it has ASU ranked within the Big 12. But immediately what jumps out to me, if we're just talking college football, everybody, of course, the big thing for college football is the top 25.
Yep.
Right? Still waiting on the preseason AP top 25, but the ESPN College Football Power Index has Arizona State sitting barely inside the top 25 at number 24 in the country.
Did they call us Arizona State or Arizona?
They did. It does say Arizona State Sun Devils.
So they get it right when they're disrespecting
100%
Cool.
right. Just some names before you dig in too deep that are ahead of Arizona State. You've got the Auburn Tigers at number 14. You've got Oklahoma at number 16. You got Michigan at number 17. You got the Florida Gators at 18. You have Lincoln Riley's USC Trojans at number 19.
Oh, I bet that made you real happy.
The SMU Mustangs at number 20. Kansas State at 21. Arkansas at 22. Missouri at 23. You know who's right behind Arizona
BYU.
State at 24? Nope. The Nebraska Cornhuskers are sitting right behind Arizona State. What do you make of number 24 in the country according to the Football Power Index, Rubis?
I kind of like it.
Really? Really?
Because it's wrong.
Yeah.
Like, in a vacuum, I hate it. But to be completely honest with you, this team has gotten a lot of really good press this summer. Sam Leavitt specifically, some really good press. Dillingham, and much deserved. Absolutely much deserved. But I like a little doubt.
You like a little.
I like a little.
Being
okay.
an underdog again.
Like, okay, well, we'll show you what's up because we talk about bulletin board material. You're never going to get more bulletin board material than getting picked 16th out of 16 in a conference. But, this is something that you could look at for Arizona State, and you look at it as motivation.
Yeah.
Right? And there is something to be said about when everybody's like all in on one team, you're like, okay, well, is there something? It's like there's something wrong. You need a little hate to balance out the love. In a vacuum, this is wrong.
Yeah.
Not being the number one in the Big 12 is wrong. Being 24 is wrong. But I'm not freaking out over this because there's so much other goodwill in other places, whether it's On 3, naming Sam Leavitt like the best returning quarterback, or whether it's all the national love Kenny is getting and going out and doing these interviews and whatever it is. Like, it is what it is. You take the good and you take with the bad. At least they called us Arizona State, right? Like that.
That's
for ESPN,
the expectation
that's a win.
now. Is you just got to call us by the right name.
For ESPN, that's a win.
Yeah.
Like that is somebody actually did their checking. Maybe they ran it by a second opinion instead of just putting it into Chat GPT and saying, write this for me. So big shout out to ESPN for at least getting one part of this right.
I think, again, like, I don't have, in the grand scheme of things, I have no issue with number 24.
Really?
It's more so the teams that you are ranked below.
You don't have a problem if you don't have a problem with 24.
Well, I'm saying, like, again, in the grand scheme of things, if this was like any other year and I could seriously like have this conversation with you and be like, yes, there are 23 teams better than Arizona State in the country, and you could show them to me, and I would say, and I would like be like, okay, right? Like, I look at teams, I think the Texas Longhorns, Georgia, Bama, Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, Notre Dame. Like,
yeah, we're not saying that
there are
better
teams that are above Arizona State, and I can hear that, right? Yeah. But when you're telling me that the Auburn Tigers are sitting at number 14 when their projected win-loss is 7.5 wins to 4.5 losses, but I look at Arizona State, they're at 8.3 wins and 3.9 losses, and you have them 10 spots below. Right? Like, how much of this ranking is just so much solely based on the fact that, guess what? We put in all the numbers into an analytical system, and we removed all the production from Cam Scatterbo because he's gone, from last year, and this is what it spits out. Like, it does feel like this needs to be a little bit more refined than just, hey, we're just going to plug in a bunch of numbers and see what the heck this thing spits out.
That's the FPI, though.
Yeah, but it's
I know, but
flawed, no?
Well, 100%. It's a quote unquote complex algorithm that factors in the past and the conference, recruits, which we know recruiting rankings are just a cluster F. So, of course, it's there's going to be people that have gripes with it, like us and like many other fans. But it's an algorithm. It's a number. It's not a person sticking their neck out saying what they believe. And ESPN writers look at this and don't agree with everything.
Yeah,
that's why, like, the FPI, I don't really care about because it's Chat GPT. It's an algorithm telling me what I should believe.
There's no soul. There's no heart.
Well, which doesn't mean anything to me. What means something to me is when a Brett McMurphy or somebody who has watched the trends that they talk about and calculate all the time says, no, well, yeah, sure. They, 3 years ago, they underperformed both seasons, but that was Kenny Dillingham ramping up like 2 years ago. And now they have him. The equations don't calculate Kenny's juice. Like, that's not in the algorithm.
Yeah.
The aura.
That would be
Where's the aura?
Also, excuse me while I do something.
So if you're looking at some of the things that are in this FPI and then other projections and whatnot. Hi, Shane. Arizona State, let's just compare them to the two SEC teams that are right ahead of them, the Missouri Tigers and the Arkansas Razorbacks.
2 of 13, by the way, that are ahead of Arizona State.
Look at projected win-loss. Arizona State, 8.3 wins to 3.9 losses. Missouri is 6.9 wins to 5.2 losses. And even above that, Arkansas is 6.1 wins to 5.9 losses.
The SEC bias.
Arkansas is literally projected in this to be a 500 team.
Yeah.
And they are 2 spots ahead of Arizona State.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make it make sense, bro.
90.9%. It's the SEC.
It's not just ESPN.
That's so crazy,
but it's not just the writers that love the SEC. The algorithm.
Like, have we programmed SEC bias into this?
Yeah, past success in the conference. What
Enough of the robots, man.
Dude, but it's
you're
so
telling
funny.
me.
Yeah, it's so funny, dude.
The SEC, the gap between the SEC and the rest of the conferences is thin. It's thinner than it's been in the past 30 years.
Yeah.
By far.
Agreed.
But if you keep looking down these numbers, they give Arizona State a 90.9% chance of getting 6 wins, Missouri 77%, Arkansas 63%. How about percentage to win the conference? Arizona State 13% chance to win the conference. 13. Missouri 0.6, Arkansas 0.5, right? It's all love for the SEC, but then if you go up and you look at Kansas State, Kansas State's projected to have more wins than Arizona State. Kansas State has a higher win-out percentage. Kansas State has a higher chance of getting 6 wins. Kansas State has a 20% chance, 19.9% chance to win the Big 12, according to this algorithm, and a 22.2% chance of making the playoffs. Those are significantly higher than Arizona State.
It's not just, and we'll get into the Kansas State stuff here in a second. Like, it's not just Arizona State. Outside noise, disrespect, whatever you want to call it. Like, you look at just the evaluations of the conferences as a whole, especially in the Power Four, and even the ACC has a higher percentage of having playoff teams than the Big 12. They have a higher percentage of winning the national championship than the Big 12. Like, the only, like, quote unquote conference that the Big 12 has a higher percentage in is the independents. And realistically, the only independent that does anything year over year is Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Right? So it's crazy to me that...
Watch out for UConn.
UConn football.
Sneaky.
It just blows my mind that we haven't... And I say we, that ESPN hasn't refined this system at all, that it is strictly so analytics-based, yet you can have very clear outliers in this situation. And I will give a little bit of credit to some of the ESPN writers that kind of broke down and evaluated the way that the ESPN FPI kind of spit out the whole analytics and percentages, whatever. Paolo Uggetti, I'm sure did I say that correctly?
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible on my end, man. They did like certain sections. And one of the questions was, which team is the FPI undervaluing? And his answer was Arizona State.
Facts.
Saying, quote, even though Kenny Dillingham said at Big 12 spring meetings recently that being considered one of the conference's favorites after being picked to finish last in 2024 is, quote, less fun, I still think FPI is slightly undervaluing the Sun Devils at number 24. Sure, they lost star running back Cam Scadaboo to the NFL draft, but they also return a quarterback in Sam Leavitt, who could be a Heisman contender, wide receiver Jordan Tyson, and defensive back Xavier Alford, among several other starters and stalwarts of last year's Cinderella season. Dillingham won't flinch at now being considered a favorite to win the conference, and I imagine he'll have ASU with plenty of fire and motivation come kickoff. It would not shock me to see them make another playoff run.
Slightly, I still think even the word slightly, discounts it. I'm like, tell me why Clemson is 13 spots higher
because they play in the
than
ACC.
Arizona State. 13 spots higher than Arizona State.
And I know there's like a breakdown of like, let me see if I can find the actual description for what they plug and play into this algorithm. Because it's just ridiculous to me. Let's see. So as part of their effort, ESPN's efforts to keep track of these seismic changes, they're relaunching their football power index, blah, 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 blah. Just to refresh, the FPI is a predictive rating system that estimates each FBS's team's strength in points per game relative to the national average on offense, defense, and special teams, making adjustments for starters lost, recruiting talent, and other personnel changes. Those numbers are then plugged into the schedule, and everything is simulated 20,000 times to track each team's odds of winning its conference, making the playoff, and advancing through to the national title. 20,000.
Robots will never take my job.
I mean, yeah, if you told me 20,000, you could have run the Big 12 20,000 times last season. I guarantee you that Arizona State was not winning the Big 12 championship based off of all the metrics that you could put in.
I would say never. Last year's FPI, I would say they had a 0% chance.
Probably, yeah. I don't know if you can go back and...
I do wonder how much special teams is going into all of this. Like, how much is the addition of Jesus, really benefiting them, and how much is it the prior output of special teams maybe bringing them down as far as the index here?
Well, yeah, and I mean, we talk every single day about the talent that Arizona State brings in from the portal to recruits, and of course, Arizona State. I mean, just based off of like if we're looking at recruiting talent, right? Alabama, Georgia, all these other schools are throwing in 5-star, 4-star players in their recruiting classes every other year. Whereas we talk every day about Arizona State's 3 stars and what they can get out of those guys, and maybe they'll get a 4-star here and there. But like, if we're just going again based off of the numbers, like then yeah, I get it. It just seems like such a openly flawed system to consistently throw out there year over year when there's so much nuance that goes into this. Like, it's more of a knock on like ESPN, I guess, as like the brand, to throw this out there and just be like, we have an algorithm and we threw in some numbers.
I disagree with that.
Really?
Yeah,
it feels just so gross to me,
well, because that's not the only metric they measure by. That this is just their FPI. They also have there's other organizations that vote that matters. There's a reason why the FPI doesn't calculate who's making the college football playoff. Like, this is just like it's a rating system. It's
it does have a playoff percentage though.
Yeah, I know,
but
this isn't the litmus. That every ESPN person puts out their own top 25. Those ones carry way more weight than the FPI. The FPI is what you use when you look at the little chart before the game where you're like, ASU has a 65% chance because you needed some filler in a tweet, or you need some filler in a story. Like, the FPI, sure, right now it feels like, oh yeah, let's talk about it. It's the world of blah, blah, blah. This means nothing come season time. You know what it does? The Big 12 power rankings that PHNX Sun Devils does, because there's real people thinking real thoughts about real things that happened in real seasons past.
Yeah.
Thinking?
We do that here. We think.
But the preseason top 25 from, again, your Brett McMurphy's and your other big ESPN,
it does carry
those
more weight.
Carry way more weight.
Yeah, 100%. I would agree with you on that. Getting to some of the Big 12 stuff before we dive into the Willie Bloomquist news a little bit later on in the show. In terms of projected win-losses, I know we brought up Arizona State at 8.3 wins to 3.9 losses. Kansas State is the only team ranked higher in the FPI. They're also the only team in the conference with more projected win-losses. They're at 8.6 wins versus in 3.7 losses compared to Arizona State. In terms of like a full undefeated schedule, Kansas State is a 1.7% chance. Arizona State a 1.2% chance. Both of those teams are at 90+% chance to go bowling this season. In terms of winning the conference, this is an interesting one. Of course, Arizona State is the betting favorite, tied with certain teams on various sports books. But Kansas State, according to the FBI, a clear favorite to win the conference at, like you said, 19.9%, nearly 20% to ASU's 13 flat.
What are the FBI's credentials for this?
The FBI? Did I say FBI?
I think it sounded like you did.
FPI. And then in terms of like playoff to make the college football playoff, kind of surprised at the number of teams that have more than a 10% chance in the conference. Texas Tech at 10.3, Baylor at 10.5, TCU at 10.3, Kansas at 13.4,
so true.
BYU at 12.6, ASU at 16.1, and Kansas State at 22.2. And then, of course, the national championship stuff is all about a percent or lower. So it's just it's wildly interesting to me. The FPI does not think very much of the Big 12 as a whole. Like, there are a solid chunk of teams that are sitting at seven wins. They think this conference is just going to feast on itself, kind of the way that it did at the tail end of last year, but without really any upper echelon teams. It's interesting to say the least. Like in terms of some of the more interesting numbers on teams that you and I have discussed, Eric, like Iowa State, for example, is 45 in the FPI with 6.7 projected wins and 5.4 projected losses.
Kind of, I mean, that's got to be, you lost your 2,000-yard wide receivers. Where's your offense coming from?
7 wins?
That 7 wins is crazy.
Not even 6.7. So yeah, if you're rounding up 7, but like still, that's
crazy.
It's a massive fall off according to this. Only a 3.7% chance to win the conference. I mean, you look at other teams that we expect to be better, right? Like a Texas Tech, they're at 7.9 to 4.2 losses. It's just wildly interesting to me in terms of like the best teams from last year to projected worst teams in theory. Outside of Iowa State, Colorado's in that conversation. They're at 6.4 projected wins to 5.6 projected losses. Only a 67.3% chance to actually go bowling this season. And then the worst of the conference is Arizona and Houston. Arizona at 4.9 projected wins to 7.1 losses. Houston at 4.8 wins to 7.2 losses.
See, that's where they get it wrong with Houston.
Yeah, I think Houston.
They get it right with U of A, though.
Yeah.
Arizona with a 0.5% chance to win the Big 12.
Hey,
never tell
what
me
about
that.
national championship?
0.
Oh.
They have a 0% chance.
It's
Actually,
0.0 or 0.1?
It's 0.0. It's 0.0 for Cincinnati, West Virginia, Oklahoma State, Arizona, and Houston.
That's nice. That's nice.
Glenn says it's the fallacy poo-poo index. That's real stuff.
New name.
Man.
I'm here for that.
New nickname, the fallacy poo-poo index. I think it's very interesting to look at what it is this year, and then I also think it's interesting to take a look at who were the top Big 12 teams as far as FPI last year.
Yeah.
So I'll bring you through some of those.
Do you have those?
I do.
Wow, look at you.
Right after this break.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm here to tell you about our friends over at Chicken and
They're back.
Pickle. They are back in the fold. Yeah, absolutely. Love to see it. Two of my favorite things in the entire world, chicken and pickles.
Pickleball.
And pickleball. Well, I guess
you love
three of my
Dinkin'
favorite
and
things.
Dunkin'.
Three of my favorite things. I've actually, since I've been to Chicken and Pickle, I feel like every time I go, I actually do see improvements when it comes to pickleball. But maybe it's because I feel like I have an opportunity to play a game of pickleball, then maybe go grab a snack, then maybe go grab a drink, and then I go back and play some more pickleball. And maybe it's just like me enjoying the vibes a little too much.
Not?
Like, and then
How
I
could you
think I'm
not?
better at pickleball. I don't know.
Maybe
Look,
you just care less that you suck.
maybe
'Cause you're having
that's
a great
what it
time.
is. That's what it is, guys. Whether you want to go to Chicken and Pickle just yourself with some friends for a date, maybe you want to bring the entire family. They have got the best vibes in the valley when it comes to the food, the drinks, the sporting events you can watch, and of course the pickleball itself. Family friendly fun awaits. Make sure you visit chickenandpickle.com to plan your visit today.
Here in Arizona, you got to keep your home cool. That's a fact. But also, it costs a lot of money to keep your home cool when it's 120 degrees outside.
Not with these smart thermostats,
Not
man.
with the APS smart thermostats. That's why APS and smart thermostats are here for you to help manage your energy bills that can go through the roof. Smart thermostats can work with your APS rate plans to maximize comfort and convenience while minimizing your energy costs. If you're on the APS time of use plan, you can use your smartphone or device to automatically adjust the thermostat to take advantage of the lower cost off-peak hours. The best part is some APS customers may be eligible for smart thermostats for as low as $0 when you enroll in the APS Cool Rewards program. If you're not sure how to install a smart thermostat, well, free install is also available at the APS Marketplace. Find instant rebates, discounts, and special offers on thermostats, energy-efficient appliances, and more at marketplace.aps.com. You must be an APS customer and pay shipping and taxes. Other restrictions apply. Go to marketplace.aps.com for more information.
Big question for you.
Huge question.
What are you doing for Shane's birthday?
Pool party at the Diamondbacks game.
Just you or like
Only me.
Only you and Shane?
I have rented out the pool for just myself for Shane's birthday.
Wow. And Shane can't even come.
Yeah, Shane's not allowed.
That's tough.
Shane was
tough.
not invited to his own pool party.
His own pool party.
But you are.
You are. Yeah. Me?
No.
No. Everybody
You.
else. Everybody else is invited to the PHNX Diamondbacks pool party takeover at Chase Field July 3rd from 5:30 in the afternoon to 10 p.m. It's time for a PHNX pool party over at Chase Field. There are limited tickets, Rubus. So how can everybody go get their invite to the pool party and, of course, Shane's birthday?
Go PHNX.com.
Go PHNX.com.
Click on the events tab, and then you're there. And plus, if you are a diehard, which Big Ten Jed is now a diehard, thanks to our other diehard, Sharon, you now get a 20% discount on events. Plus, of course, all the other benefits of becoming a diehard. So go PHNX.com, become a diehard, and of course, go to our pool party on July 3rd.
Yeah, if you're not going to go, though, I will take a present as well.
Yeah.
I'll draw my address in the chat.
Anything you want specifically? I know you've been big on the Switch lately.
Well, I'll bully Leah into buying me that. Yeah.
Switchblade, not the Nintendo
no
Switch.
Switchblades.
No.
Not a big
Only one for my
knife
birthday
guy.
is a
No.
Switchblade.
That's Damon. Damon's a big knife
Damon's
guy.
a big knife
Is he?
guy. Really?
Damon once got his knife confiscated by TSA
Really?
on the way back from Indy, I think, or on the way to Indy, because they would have caught it the first time.
Interesting. I mean, did we ever ask Damon why he was bringing a knife?
I mean, people
why-
just carry knives.
Just a knife into the airport is
Sometimes
Definitely.
It's a bold move.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's like a very common thing. People forget they have knives on them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we can't bring that."
Huh.
It's like
Now,
a really
my
common.
question
TSA has knife sales, like wholesale knives.
TSA does.
Yep.
I do wonder, why does Damon need a knife?
Yeah.
To defend himself from me.
From you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, Shane. That's why Shane wants a Switchblade.
Yeah.
Right.
Shane needs to stab Damon back.
Oh my gosh, guys!
All right.
Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review, and Rubus, tell us what that FPI had going on last season.
You can see my screen, I'm assuming. Did you?
I
see
only
what was up
saw the
there?
one that you just
Okay.
had up.
Well, the top team, the top Big 12 team.
Can I guess?
Yeah. Guess.
What was it? What was it?
Was it the one I just saw?
Yes.
Okay.
That was a top.
Really?
I'll tell you what number it comes in on. 17.
What number?
For
Oh,
FPI.
For the total country. Ooh, this is a fun game.
It is.
I wanna play.
This is tough. Was it? Would it have? No, it wouldn't have been Utah.
Chat, you could play this game too.
It wouldn't have been Utah. Would it have been Utah?
It wasn't Utah.
Okay.
And not Utah. You will probably be shocked.
No, think back hard to last season.
Kansas?
Who were? Yes.
It's Kansas.
It's
Yes.
Kansas.
Yeah.
So Kansas.
My sweet boys.
their
I thought they were going to
FPI
be unbelievable.
I did too. I was
Yeah.
fully on the
And I think they're going to be.
Daniels hype
I
train.
think they're going to be really good this year too.
I was sitting in my little train car, just drinking a
No,
spritzer.
you were sitting in the caboose.
Mm,
I was.
sitting in the
I was.
caboose.
I was operating the train.
Yeah.
I was
So-
working hard with the coal.
You were. I was sitting there vibing, spritzer in hand, just like getting ready for Jalen Daniels to ball out. And
So
then he didn't.
their FPI was 11.2, which compared to Arizona State this year is a 9.5. They were projected to win 8.7 games to Arizona State's 8.3 this year. Okay. Do we want to guess now who is the second Big 12 team
Is it
in
Utah?
the top 25?
No.
It is not Utah. This team comes in at number 22 with an FPI of 10.
Was it Arizona?
It was not Arizona.
Kansas State.
Kansas State
Wow.
at 22. And the final in the top 25 comes in at 24, an FPI of 9.2, projected wins 9.7. In this person's article, they named this team a dark horse to make a wild run this year.
Is that Arizona or Utah?
That is Arizona.
Yeah.
Arizona with an
Spoiler,
FPI.
they did not.
FPI of 9.2, projected win of 7.9 at 24, which is the same exact spot that Arizona State
Wow.
finds themselves in
Wow, that is.
an entire year later.
Ugh, I hate that.
But to be fair, Arizona State does have a way higher FPI. It is at a 9.5 compared to the 9.2. Also has higher win-loss, an 8.3 to a 7.9. So they do predict Arizona State to be a better team, but they are in the same spot nationally in the top 25 of FPI as Arizona was last year.
Interesting. Let's go real quick. Just can you just speed run through them?
Well, so that article
all they
only
had
had the
on
top
there?
25.
I wish I
I'll
could tell
see
where
if I
Arizona.
can-
Where was Arizona State?
That's
what I
the
wanna
thing
know.
is I go and I look at
You have to find an article from the Big 12.
right, because when you go and you look at
I can
the
look for it
FPS
while you guys yap.
when you look at the FPI
That's the
from
end of the
before,
year.
yeah, that's from the end. That's from the end of the year. Oh wow,
What?
Kansas was top 15 as far as national championship odds in FPI last year at 1.1%.
Wow.
Top 15.
From championship odds
Mhm.
to what, a 7-win, 6-win season, if that. I don't even know if they went bowling last year. Did they? Did Kansas get to go bowling last
No.
year? They were a 5-win team.
Yeah, I think
5
they
and
won
7?
5 games.
Gosh.
Well, there's a whole section for Dion's buffs. They were
Of course there
36th,
is. Of course there was.
36th in FPI.
That's just.
There's literally a whole cutout of this.
But
for
I
Dion.
mean, tell me, like, this is again a perfect example of why these things are so stupid.
Yeah.
Like analytics, there's a part of it that you should absolutely throw into sports, in my mind. But when you create an entire system based off of just a repeated algorithm, 20,000, I don't care if it's 50,000 times, like it's just ridiculous. And this is a perfect example of why it shouldn't work. The top 3 teams that ESPN's FPI had last year in the Big 12, Kansas, Kansas State, and Arizona, not one of them was in the playoff. No. Not one of them won the conference. Not one of them was even in the conference championship game. And you want to know something even better? Not one of them beat Arizona State last year. Not a single one.
No. Okay, I found, I believe, the full FPI rankings from last year. Okay, so
the full Arizona FPI rankings?
Preseason.
Totri's most wanted.
Yeah, Totri's most wanted.
So Arizona at 24, Oklahoma State at 26, Utah at 27, Texas Tech at 29, TCU at 30. There's just a whole bunch of Big 12 teams.
Cluster of
UCF at 32, West Virginia at 35, Colorado at 36. And then, we're going to
big drop off.
Yeah, there's got to be. Iowa State was at 47 going into last year. 47.
So the Big 12 championship game featured ESPN's 2024 FBI 47th team.
47th team, and I'm still getting to Arizona State. Baylor, 55. Arizona State was 63.
With what were the
the last team in the Big 12?
Does it have percentages there or no?
Just they had a minus 0.3 FPI. They don't have the other percentages
minus 0.3.
They had a negative FPI last year. Cincinnati is 65. I believe. Oh wow! So Cincinnati was 65, and then BYU.
BYU did kind of come out of nowhere.
Was 73. BYU was a negative 1.5.
Again, you have to think of what the FPI is. It's also based on past success.
But it's stupid.
Houston, I know it is.
I'm saying.
Well,
it's like, why do this? Why do it if it's just inaccurate every single year?
Well, it isn't. It isn't fully inaccurate.
I mean, that was pretty.
I know.
I mean,
the
top teams preseason last year: Georgia, Oregon, Texas, Ohio State, Alabama, Penn State, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Missouri. That's your top 10 in FPI from 2024.
Who are the top 5?
Top 5: Georgia, Oregon, Texas, Ohio State, Bama. The only one that really doesn't belong there, like Bama, and I mean, Georgia ended up not being as good as obviously number 1.
I mean, at least they have the national champion in there. I'll give them that. Like, at least you have that in the top 5.
They had Texas who advanced. Oregon obviously got just destroyed by Ohio State, but Ohio State was in the top 4.
Where was SMU and Boise State? Some of those
SMU
teams?
was 25.
Okay. So still a little low on them.
Yeah, SMU was 25.
ACC is a cakewalk when Florida State sucks.
Boise State was 48, right below Iowa State at 47. Rutgers was 45, by the way.
Why are you pointing out Rutgers?
I don't know.
Where was Troy?
Rutgers ball was awesome last year.
Was it? I wasn't familiar
Rutgers
with
beat
ball.
Washington.
Oh, that's right.
Rutgers was a demon.
That was a fun game.
Rutgers was a fun team.
James Madison.
Legalize Rutgers money line.
James Madison was, I feel like every year, 4 weeks into the year, James Madison's in the top 25 for no reason.
Yeah. Arizona State was not last in the Big 12 by actually a pretty significant margin. BYU was worse. Cincinnati was worse. And Houston was worse. I believe that was all the Big 12
Do you remember who Rutgers played in the Rate Bowl in Arizona?
Kansas State.
Yep.
I remember reading ads for that.
Did they win that game?
Remember the final score was?
Didn't they
44-41.
Oh.
Kansas State won. Rutgers was killing them.
Hell of a game, huh?
Yep. Rutgers beat Maryland. We're just visit Rutgers podcast.
By the way,
Rutgers beat Maryland, Michigan State. They barely lost to a ranked Illinois. That team was a wagon. Don't talk down on my Scarlet Knights. Actually, they got killed by Wisconsin and lost to UCLA. Ooh, maybe.
By the way, back-to-back years, the last team in FPI, 134th. Do we want to guess who that is? Back-to-back
worst team.
Back-to-back preseason bottom.
You gotta let it. I mean,
MAC team.
Oh, this is. I know this. This is. Is it a team in Ohio?
Yes.
They're all in Ohio.
They're all in Ohio. I'll tell you, the teams that they're below Temple, Florida International, Kennesaw State, Sam Houston, UL Monroe, Akron, and New Mexico State and Eastern Michigan.
So this wouldn't be Miami, Ohio.
It's not Miami, Ohio.
That was going to be my guess.
This is
Ohio State. Is it just Ohio?
It's not Troy.
It's Akron.
No,
not Akron.
LeBron James, sweet Akron.
Akron is 128th. This is 134.
Sharon
Can I
says Troy.
Give me the colors.
There's a color in their name.
Oh, they're bowling green.
No.
I don't know.
The Kent State.
Oh, the Golden Flashes?
Golden Flashes. Back to back. In 2025, I'm pretty sure they'll be rolling.
I mean, that's
the bottom.
bulletin board material.
Yeah, Kent State Golden Flashes, negative 22.7 FPI this year.
Do you think we could like
they've improved? They're only negative 18. Oh no, they gotten worse.
Somehow,
negative 18.6.
Somehow, can we turn Kent State them sucking as like bulletin board material?
Hey, that's your kid's name.
Exactly.
Kenny.
For Kenny, he would be like, "Yo, ESPN doesn't think Kent is very good."
Yeah, ESPN hates Kent.
I will say they got this right. You want me to read some of these scores? Did they win a game? Did they win a game?
Kent State went scoreless?
Did they win a game? Dude, I don't think they won a game.
Do you remember that's the team that Jaden Daniels made his debut against?
They did not win a game last year.
Was it Kent State?
Yeah, because I was on the call for
They lost 41-0 against Ohio. They lost 34-7.
Ohio State.
Ohio.
They lost 34-7 against Miami, Ohio. They lost to Trayson Bourget 52-21. They lost to Eastern Michigan 52-33. Can you guess the final score of the Tennessee and the Penn State games combined?
105-0.
The Tennessee and Penn State games combined.
They opened up the season with St. Francis, who beat them.
Why?
St. Francis, who beat them?
Why is Tennessee and Penn State playing Kent State?
And then Tennessee and Kent State. Can you guess the combined score of the Tennessee and Kent State game, or Penn State
105-0.
No, I think it might be more. Give me 124-6.
127-0.
Wow.
Holy crap. Yo, I'm a Golden Flashes fan, man. I'm a Kent State Golden Flashes fan.
They got a great logo, and they're good. They're not a horrible basketball program.
God, this is
Look, action.
They did not win a game.
They didn't win a game.
Last little tidbit.
Wait, what was the? I have to know. What was the closest game?
They almost beat Ball State. It was 37-35. That was the closest game.
Wow.
Last little tidbit on ESPN's FPI most wanted list here. I can't believe we just spent
like 15 minutes on that.
Kent State Golden Flashes.
The FPI's best projected offenses and defenses in 2025. Where do you think Arizona State ranks offensively, and where do you think they rank defensively? You can also say they're not on these lists.
Not on the
this
offensive.
Is just top 20s, by the way.
Not offensive top 20. I think they're 19 on defense.
Shane?
Yeah, they're probably not on the offensive top 20. Defensively, I'm going to go 16.
Defensively, they are not on the list. Offensively, they sit at number 18.
Wow, that's surprising.
Yeah. Especially because losing Scadaboo, you would think that would really.
Yeah.
In terms of change, it does like plus 10, plus. I don't know necessarily what the pluses and minuses mean. Maybe just like how much they expect them to drop off offensively and defensively. It is just a dash. It is just equal.
So nothing happened.
We stay the same.
Nothing happened.
On
we
offense?
stay the same on offense.
What?
Yeah. Some offenses that have giant jumps include Auburn at plus 31, South Carolina at plus 24, Texas A&M at plus 10. They got Notre Dame dropping 4 offensively. Some interesting teams on defense that they have inside their top 20. They've got Auburn also in there. The
Auburn
the guzzling of the Auburn Tigers by ESPN's FPI is absurd to me. Okay? Auburn is not back. Clemson defensively is a top 15 team they have. Florida in there defensively. SMU in there. Missouri.
Did you say A&M went up by 10?
A&M offensively went up by 10, yeah.
You know why?
Because they got rid of Connor
Wayman transferred.
Because they got rid of him?
No, watch. He's going to be good in the Big 12.
I do think a team outside of Arizona State that is wildly underrated in some of these rankings, and I think the FPI has them inside the top 25 somewhere, is Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma is going to be a much better team than they were last year. I think just based off of who they have playing quarterback and running back.
I mean, Mateer's a dog.
Yeah.
I'm just always so skeptical when leaving that air raid. Like when leaving quarterbacks that leave Washington State, like you just don't see a ton, except Cam Ward. Like, and Cam Ward was a really unique player.
And I love Jaden Ott, by the way. The Cal transfer running back.
Yeah,
now.
Of course.
Like, he's got sons like PTSD there.
Jordan Ott.
Yeah.
You know his wife's name's Jordan Ott?
Yeah, I know. His wife's name is Jordan Ott. Great move.
Oh, my goodness.
Actually, I don't know if it's a great move.
Yeah, great move. That'd be tough. Can you imagine, Shane?
I mean, there's not a lot of names that can.
If your girlfriend was,
if Leah's name was Shane,
yeah.
But another thing is, Jordan
weird.
works. Jordan works both ways, though. It's got to be.
Is it the same spelling?
Yep.
Yes, it's literally exactly the same.
They're both
name.
Jordan.
Do they have the same?
Why
birthday?
would you take his last name? That's the bigger question.
It's their name. It's not his or hers. It's theirs.
Okay, can we get your mother's name? Jordanot. What about your father's name?
Jordanot.
Jordanot. No, honey. No. Your father's name. Jordanot.
We're gonna take a quick break, huh?
Yeah, let's do it. Look, regardless of what ESPN's FPI tells you about Arizona State's floor, I'm here to tell you that no floor is as good as the ones they have over at Empire today. Of course, just like your Sun Devils have themselves a home court or a home field, you in your home need a home floor advantage. And of course, Empire today can help you get it right. Of course, we tell you all the time about those big box stores. You walk in, you got a million questions. No one can help you. You can't find somebody to even ask those questions. Well, look, Empire today, they are here to answer all the questions that you have. And I think the best part of Empire today is the fact that they are flooring experts, right? They live, they breathe flooring on a daily basis, and they're going to be with you every step of the way. It's a whole different ball game. We know those flooring experts that sometimes say they're flooring experts that want you to install the floors or maybe can't answer all of the questions that you have. Empire today, they're just different guys in the best way possible. Schedule a free in-home estimate today because some things are just better at home. PHNX listeners can receive a $350 discount when using that promo code PHNX. Restrictions apply. Visit Empire today/PHNX for full details.
We got a double point alert.
Double point alert.
Double point alert with Mountain America Credit Union. For more than their 1 million members, you can get 2 times the points on rewards credit card purchases now through July 31st. Use your Mountain America rewards card and watch the points pile up. It's perfect for gas, groceries, travel, home projects, and all other purchases. This promotion is an easy way to stretch your dollar since you earn twice as many rewards. Redeem your double points for rewards like travel rebates, gift cards, and event tickets. Now, this is a limited time only, so stack up those points while you can.
Take advantage.
While you can. Go ahead. Visit macu.com/double for details. Loans are on approved credit. Offer can change or be withdrawn at any time. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply.
Guys, it is a Wednesday, so we will be doing a snake draft here.
I have no idea what we're snake drafting.
10 minutes.
Zero clue.
It's in the rundown.
What pick do I have?
Go. You get.
Should I go into it blind or should I look?
I'm taking the third overall pick. You get to choose if you would like the first or the second overall pick in this draft.
Ooh, I am not going to look at the topic. I'll take the first. I'm not going to look.
Why would you ever take the second?
I don't know.
Yeah, the second's just a blech.
Yeah,
pick.
I'll take the first. I'm not going to look at the topic until we
get there. Before we get to that, we are going to be talking about something that we've already kind of alluded to on this show that we've talked about in the Die Hard Discord. And that is the fact that Willie Bloomquist will be returning to Arizona State as the head baseball coach next season. Rubus, like I said, we had brought it up the last couple of days when people asked that we both felt like it was pretty set in stone that Willie was going to return. 24/7 Sports did, of course, officially report that last night. But again, based off of the way that Graham Rossini handled the Bobby Hurley situation, that whole contract stuff, we expected Willie to be back.
Yeah, this is always a tough situation.
Yeah,
for the coaches, and we had a whole conversation with stuff like this for Bobby, and now we're having it for Willie, who are both going in
different situations. It feels like
different surrounding circumstances, but still the same situation. Honestly, you are a big name. Like those are the 2 biggest names. Like obviously Kenny now is a
Kenny now.
name.
Kenny, I would say when Willie and Bobby got here, they were bigger names.
And outside of Arizona State, right? Those are 2 of the biggest names that you have associated
college
with the school.
I mean, yeah, Willie was a pro, and then of course Bobby's a college legend,
maybe the best point guard that the
college basketball's ever seen.
Right. Yeah. So you have 2 very high profile coaches who have very much underperformed at multiple points in their career. Now, Bobby's been around for longer, and Bobby has had higher highs.
Twice as long.
And Bobby has had higher highs than Willie. He's also gotten more investment than Willie. So there's that to go into it as well. But now you have 2 high-profile guys going into the last year of their contract without a contract extension and basically saying, prove it.
Yeah.
Prove it. And I don't love this, but I also didn't think it was going to happen any other way.
Yeah, I think that's, again, like,
he's got to succeed. You got to go farther than you did this year. Be more consistent with it. And at the end of the day, you have to prove to Graham Rossini and Arizona State fans that this program is heading in the right direction.
Yeah, and I think this is, when we talk about Hurley and when we talk about Willie going into their final years of their contracts, like, this is almost a situation where we always in the fan base likes to talk about, oh, did they get fired, right? Whereas I think you can flip it now heading into 2025, 2026, and it's like, okay, Bobby Hurley and Willie Bloomquist need to go earn extensions, right? What does that look like? An NCAA regional, that for the ASU baseball standard, I don't think is going to earn you an extension.
I don't even know if...
Okay. Going to a regional and getting bounced is not going to earn you a long-term extension at Arizona State.
All of it depends on how you play. It's the same thing with Bobby this year, right? To me, yes, team success matters, and I think more so with baseball than basketball because basketball is just such a lost cause. So we went over the roster the other day. Yikes.
Yeah.
But it's, are you making the right steps on your craft? For Willie, are you managing the pitching staff correctly? As far as literal in-game adjustments, are your hitting coaches, the ones that you're choosing to be a part of your team, getting your bats ready for big moments? Is this team consistent through big moments and small moments and good teams and bad teams facing off against them? Are you fixing some of the problems you had? Maybe you get a 2-year extension. Maybe you get a 3-year extension. If you prove that, you make it to a regional, you compete, you get bounced, or you win and you move on. But I'm not expecting them to go compete for a College World Series next year, especially not with where NIL is for that specific program.
I think it's tough not to compare the Willie in Bobby situation because there are so many similarities with the track record over the last several years. But I think also in terms of like something that is often brought up in the conversation about why you would keep Bobby. And this is, again, this is not my point of view, but a lot of folks say, oh, well, who else would you get, right? Like Bobby is the best that you can get at Arizona State. I don't think that's the case when we're talking about Arizona State baseball, right? I think, and I'm not saying that they should have moved on from Willie. I fully agree with the decision to let Willie play out this final year of his contract. But I think in terms of the whole argument, well, Arizona State baseball, like how much better could you do? This is a storied program, right? Sure. At Arizona State, a lot of history, a lot of wins, a lot of major league pros that are former Sun Devils. So I think if you did ultimately decide to move on from Willie next season and didn't offer him an extension, I think there would certainly be a lot of candidates that would be interested in taking over a program, like Arizona State baseball. But in terms of what needs to be done this season, I think a lot of the conversation about these coaches and coaches long-term at Arizona State in the future are going to be based off of postseason, which for such a long period of time, it felt like the standards were always regular season, right? What does this coach of this program have to accomplish during the regular season to keep their job? Well, I think in a conversation we've had prior is look at what Kenny did, right? What were the national expectations? What were the local expectations? And he destroyed them to the point of like, look at the way that people view Arizona State football now, right?
Yes, and that elevated. But before that,
that elevated everything else.
But before the success, the actual on-field success, why were so many people excited about Kenny? Because you saw what he was doing right.
Yeah.
You know? You saw 3 wins, and of course, nationally, and as far as how activated this fan base is now, it's night and day to 365 days ago. But take you back to Camp T last year, huge turnout, everybody super pumped for Kenny, right? Why? Because A, they think he's a good coach, even though the on-field success wasn't there. But B, it's this guy cares. This guy's awesome. We love this guy. He's genuine. Like, you can win people beyond the success if you show them that you're doing things the right way, right? And with Kenny, it was like, man, you just got the injuries and you don't have the talent on the roster. With Willie, like, there are things that you look at. It's like, dude, there are many different facets of managing a baseball team that you can improve on. If you prove over next season that you can do that and that you are better,
I don't think
there's
that's
some team
enough,
success,
man.
it might be enough because
he's already improved.
And I don't say this in a weird way, but like there's also like a soft spot for ASU baseball, Graham Rossini, right? And Willie is obviously a legend here, so there's got to be some sort of soft spot there. And like we mentioned with Bobby, like Bobby's had a decade, right?
Going into year 11.
And we can talk about the DFA revamps and what's needed from that and all that. He's also gotten a lot more NIL money to play with and a lot more like big time NIL prospects.
This will be 5 years though.
And I get it.
5 years is far too much without Bobby in his first 5 years was making tournaments. Like
this was the first postseason that Willie has made
5
at
years.
ASU baseball.
No, it's tough.
Listen, I'm Dr. Willie. You know that.
You are Dr. Willie.
I love Willie.
He has got to make a super regional next year for in my estimation, to be able to get an extension.
100%.
I just don't see how you can
totally agree.
Go back
Is
and
there
say
a
a
limit
regional's
to
enough.
how short extensions can be? Or can
I
you
mean,
do
you
like
can
a one?
extend
Can you
somebody
do
for
like
a
a
year.
one? Can you do like a 1 year?
You could do a
extension
1 year
in college?
extension, but again, like, what is the incentive if you're the coach? I guess at that point to sign
I
a
mean,
extension.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be locked up long term. Right?
I mean, you want to, right? But you're going into this season without one. It's like, okay, well, you were good, but we'll give you one more year. Here's a 1 year extension.
But again,
that's way more likely with Willie than it would be with Bobby. I think Bobby, unless Bobby Hurley puts together maybe the best basketball coaching season that college has ever seen, he's gone. I feel a little differently about Willie. I do.
Yeah.
I think he's got a little bit more leeway. Whether you agree with it or not, that's what I think that he's walking into as far as situations go next year.
And we'll see. And I think Willie's going to have a little bit more resources and tools heading into this season to try and
Let's hope
succeed.
so.
So we'll obviously see. I like the approach by Graham to kind of give all these coaches, or the majority of the coaches, kind of a clean slate and, go impress with what you've got. And if you do, then we'll give you an extension. We'll let you be here long term. And if you don't succeed, then guess what? We're going to go find somebody else to do the job. So
Eric, it's on the screen. Who cares?
It is time for the snake draft for today. So if you're new here, something we do every Wednesday in the summer is we snake draft random topics. So over the last couple of weeks, we have snake draft, I believe, summer activities. We did what's another one? We did letters.
The
letters,
alphabet.
colors.
Today, we're going to keep with the summer theme a little bit here. And we are going to be snake drafting the best fictional or non-fictional people, characters, whatever.
It's characters. I thought it was
Characters,
dead. I thought it was
people,
dead or
whatever.
alive people.
Dead or alive
Is
people,
it people
characters.
or is it characters?
No, it should be dead or alive people.
You want to do dead or alive
Yeah,
people?
because if we do characters, like
You could do dead or alive people, that's fine.
Let's
Dead
do
or
people.
alive people for a summer pool party.
Wow, I don't want the first pick.
So, of course, the summer pool party with the deli band over at the Diamondbacks game.
First pick should be me, Eric, so you can go ahead and get that out of the way.
Eric is going to be going first in this draft. Shane, you're going to go 2, and I am going to be going 3 on this snake draft of summer folks that we would like to be joining our people or our pool party.
Oh man, I have no.
Without further ado, Eric
clue.
Ruby, you are on the clock.
I have.
You want to hide the chat too?
I have no clue at all. This is something I should have looked at beforehand.
I feel like there is a solid.
You think there's a 1-1?
I think there is.
I think there may
I think
be
there
a
is.
1-1.
You think there's a 1-1?
I don't know if Shane and I are on the same.
I'm kind of going crazy.
Oh, you're going crazy?
We're dead or alive.
Eric,
Dead or alive?
You got to make a
Jordan
pick.
not. No. Oh my God. I don't know.
Make your pick.
Johnny Manziel.
Okay.
Wow.
That's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad pick whatsoever.
I don't love it. I'll be honest. I don't love it. I'm not like that type of partier. So
I'm very interested to see where Shane goes.
I'm going.
Damn you,
Dillingham.
man. Yeah.
That's
Damn!
1-1, dude.
That is
fair.
1-1.
That's fair.
Gosh, that's such a good pick.
I'm taking Kent. Johnny
Yeah, I was
and Kent.
thinking about it.
That's weird.
I was thinking about it.
No babies at my pool party.
Oh man, he might have just won
He probably.
I need it, dude.
He does need a win. You know what? Let's just let him have this.
No, I'm not going to let him have this. Are you kidding me? Okay, people that you would want to attend your pool party, go ahead and give me Snoop Dogg. I'm going to take Snoop Dogg on this one. I think very obvious choice here. But Kenny would have been my first pick if he was available there.
Yeah, I probably should have gone Kenny.
Okay. On the comeback, go ahead and give me Camp Scattaboo.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy.
Snoop and Scat, I think, is a
Snoop and
solid
Scat.
1-2 here for the pool party. Yeah, I'm bummed I couldn't get Kenny, but I'll live with the legend here.
That's hilarious.
Okay.
That's crazy. To be honest, love Cam. Don't know if I'd want him at my pool party.
Really?
Not like a want
Wow.
thing. No, sorry. Let me rephrase that. I wouldn't want to draft him in this.
I think Scat is 1T. No.
No,
I think I've always done 1T.
No, but
No,
it's two. It's two on
It
his
is
chain.
two.
It's two on his chain.
two.
I've said it many a time before. I always correct people on Twitter when I see it.
All right, Shane, you're back here. What do you got? There's nothing on here, Rubus. There's no draft board.
Yeah,
Dude, I got nothing.
I don't have anything either. Oh, this is tough.
Just have a fun pool party, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try.
I'm gonna invite Leah. No, I'm just kidding.
That's great. That's a great move.
Kenny Dillingham and Leah.
I need to have a DJ. Let's go. I need to have a recognizable DJ though. I can't just go like a DJ. Lil Jon.
Okay, Kenny Dillingham and Lil Jon. Wow, what a pool party we got. Oh
All
my
right.
goodness.
Yeah. That was horrible.
Was that Kenny's impression of it?
Yeah, that was Kenny doing Lil Jon.
Oh my goodness. All right, Rubus, I'm very interested with what you got here with your next two picks. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on you here to really deliver. I don't know if the Manziel pick was given what we've seen.
No, I mean it's tough. It was a tough pick. I can't lie. It was a tough pick.
Yeah, you got police at your pool party.
Give me Guy Fieri
Okay.
because he's gonna be cooking and he's gonna be a good time.
Wow. Okay.
And then
I'm here
you
for
Can I
need-
say something?
Yeah,
I don't care if that's how you pronounce it. I hate it.
Fieri.
Yeah, it's Fieri.
I guess I mean I need a DJ too. So give me Tiesto. I don't know, dude. I don't listen to
Wow.
DJs. I just looked up top DJs. So.
Wow. Very.
We're partying.
Yeah, you are.
We are partying.
That is
your pool party is more my speed. Totri.
yours is
Yeah,
certainly
you got Vegas Club.
Yeah.
I'm-
Very interesting group.
There are bottles at at ours.
And we're not talking the thing that Kent
Yeah,
drinks.
no.
Actually, he doesn't drink out of bottles anymore.
Silly.
You know for a fact?
He's a man.
All right, Shane. Who are we adding to the Kenny Dillingham Lil Jon party? This is like you could go so many. Again, this is dead or alive.
Yeah, I know. There's nobody dead yet, so I got to go dead now. Who's dead?
Well, a lot of
What
people.
dead person do I want at my pool party?
You have to be. Never mind. Woo!
What a group already.
Yeah, I know. Oh, this is a fun draft. Where's the pool party?
I mean, it's up
At
to your
the D-backs
discretion.
pool?
Up to your discretion. It's at Kenny's house, actually. Your pool party's at Kenny's house.
Awesome. Perfect.
You and Lil Jon.
Oh,
are
Jake
carpooling.
Plummer.
Yeah, I
Jake
was thinking
Plummer.
about Jake.
There
Plummer.
we go.
I was thinking about Jake Plummer.
There we go.
Man.
Yeah.
Pander.
Let's just give him the win. It's
I'm
okay.
not giving him the win.
It's
Are you
okay.
kidding me? Okay, with Snoop Dogg and
Next
Scat.
week we should snake draft fictional characters to have at your pool party.
Who am I going with here?
Eric's looking at the chat right now.
No, I'm actually not.
You need I need fun, but I don't know if I'm going for a vibe specifically here. Who do I want to come to the pool party? Who am I inviting? Give me somebody that I am really upset that I didn't have the chance to meet in Atlanta at the Peach Bowl, and that's Matthew McConaughey. I want Matthew McConaughey at my pool party with Scat and Snoop Dogg, so Scat can tell
I'm
him.
gonna need spelling on this.
So Scat can tell him that there was targeting involved. Let's see, it's just Matthew, normal spelling.
Well, yeah, I'm just
McConaughey, McConaughey. A lot of letters there.
H-E-Y?
Ghey. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now on the comeback.
Oh man, do I go with another actor? Is the thing. Where do I go here, man?
Home.
No, I don't want to go home. Oh gosh.
This does feel like a draft we should have prepared better for.
Going in blind and getting the number 1 pick, not recommended.
Not recommended.
Yeah, 1-1 Johnny Manziel's horrible.
I don't know if
In
it's
the grand
horrible.
scheme of like this whole thing. I am gonna go with another actor here. Give me Adam Sandler. I think Adam Sandler wearing some bulky, some big old shorts to the pool
That's a
party
great
here
pick.
would be a solid one.
He's probably good.
Is he
on the
swimming
grill.
in those?
He is swimming in those.
He's
Yeah.
probably pretty decent on the grill.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. 100%. He's good
Yeah.
on the grill.
Yeah, that's a good call. Okay. Give me Shane Gillis.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
Solid one.
I think
man.
I won.
Gosh, that's a great pick.
Thank you.
Great pick, man. Shane Gillis, one of the funniest comedians in the
Great
game. Right
name too.
Half of it's good. If you're watching on TV, the party always continues over at gophnx.com.
Yeah, it does.
Maybe.
No, apparently it doesn't.
Woo!
It doesn't.
Okay. I got Johnny Manziel, Guy Fieri, and Tiesto, which is just banger after banger after banger. Give me Wiz Khalifa.
Okay.
Wiz Khalifa.
You
He's
gotta-
also doubling as security because he can whoop some butt.
Can he?
Yes. He's
Oh, yeah, he does. Yeah, he's
trained as,
huge
an
now.
MMA guy. And my final pick. So I've got the party.
Totri just closed his laptop. He's got something.
I know who I want.
I've got the party, right? I've got Johnny Manziel, Tiesto, turn it up. I got the
Is
food
that the
covered.
correct spelling there?
Yeah. I got the food covered with Guy Fieri, and I've got
I love the way that you planned
Fieri.
your pool party. Is like these guys are not only
No, this is
they're
bringing things
working
to the table.
They're working the pool party.
When you get invited to a pool party, bring up some like watermelon, bring some drinks. Like Johnny Manziel is bringing the good times.
Yeah, he's bringing vibes.
The Stephon Diggs special. He's bringing Guy Fieri is bringing the is bringing
And who's
the
this
food.
last person and what is he bringing?
The
or
last
she bringing?
person.
Damn. Yeah. It's tough.
Go ahead.
Why are you guys looking at me?
Just go ahead.
Just go ahead.
Wait, what?
Just
Nothing.
make
Just
a
go
pick.
ahead.
I don't know, dude. I
Draft like Hillary Clinton or something.
Draft yourself.
draft myself. That would actually be such a funny move.
Draft Noah.
No.
Yeah, I don't want Noah.
Johnny Venerable.
Definitely not. Why are you giving me that look like
Dude,
that, dude?
make a
Look at
pick.
me. Oh God, I don't know. I have nobody that's dead.
What's the Sanderson Ford CEO's name? Take him.
Dude? I don't know. I'm just kidding.
You can't think of a
I
single
wanna
person.
I want to take Abraham.
How about your wife?
I
You want
wanna-
to invite your wife to the pool party?
Not to the Johnny Manziel pool party. Too crazy. I'm not even going to this pool party. They're all showing up and I'm dipping. I'm leaving. I think honestly, I'm gonna lose this draft. I just want to give me Abraham Lincoln just to see. Like that's
After
like
all
that's like
the slander that you
That's a
threw at
basketball.
Abe Lincoln
it's a basketball.
for his inability to play basketball.
We're not playing basketball at the pool party. I just want to know.
You are if there's a pool hoop.
To me, this is like a social experiment. It's like, how does Abe
comes out
Lincoln?
alive?
How does Abe Lincoln respond to being at a party with Johnny Manziel, Guy Fieri, Tiesto, and Wiz Khalifa?
That's a crazy
Come on.
rotation, by
Come
the way.
on.
Just
That is a
throwing that
crazy
out
Totri,
there.
I think I gave you an idea, and I think I know where you're going to go with his last pick. I think I know what you're going to do.
I think you know.
Because when I said he or she, Totri and I both looked at each other. We were like, hold on a sec. You're going to draft.
I don't think. Then based off of that, I don't
Okay,
think you
never
know
mind.
where I'm going to go.
Okay, never mind. So you had already made up your mind.
I had already made up
Okay.
my mind. Yeah.
Because I thought you were going to draft.
There are
Sydney.
two people in my mind.
I thought you were
that
going to draft Sydney Sweeney, and I
No.
was going to do that to
draft
pander,
Sydney Sweeney.
and the fact that none of us have any women on here, but I've got a lovely girlfriend, and so I'm drafting Freddie Mercury.
Wow, you didn't draft Sydney Sweeney?
No.
Wow, I thought you were for sure going to do that.
I just know all the comments under this draft are going to be like, a lot of dudes.
Yeah.
No,
Lot of
I'm
dudes
looking at
in
the
your
comments
pool
now,
party.
and yeah, people are literally saying, yeah.
But I'd feel so weird
Yeah.
drafting like
Exactly.
just Sydney Sweeney
Yeah,
to this.
yeah.
Like,
So
it's,
who'd you make up your mind?
give me Bert Kreischer.
Okay.
Bert, I believe, and then Kreischer is Kreischcher.
Wow. Nailed it.
Yeah, give me the machine there. Okay, Rubus, who's attending your pool party here,
The
man?
best pool party of all time. All time. Give me Johnny Manziel, Guy Fieri, Tiesto, Wiz Khalifa, and Abe Lincoln.
Alston, get out Shannon Sharp.
I'm good.
What do you got, Shane?
Oh my God, Eric, this might be your worst draft ever. This is
I feel like we've
horrible.
been saying this after the last
I'm
three
not gonna lie.
Eric
I'm
drafts.
not gonna lie. I've been on a besides colors.
Cold streak.
Yeah.
I've been on a rough stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got my first one today with Kenny, Lil Jon,
Solid picks.
Jake Plummer, Shane Gillis, and Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, I mean that's a really solid draft. This is, I mean, back to Shane's prime. This is he pulled
Yeah.
one out here.
Yep.
I got Snoop Dogg, Scat, McConaughey, Adam Sandler, and Burt Kreischer. If you would like to, damn,
Alston, you gotta chill.
Shaq would have been a great pick.
Yeah.
If you guys want to vote on this, it's going to be over on our Twitter, our X, whatever you like to call it. Give us a follow at PHNX _Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony _Totri. You can follow my passenger princess here at Eric Ruby. That's Eric with a K. You can follow the Deli Man at Shane Deef.
Taking a hiatus, but once I'm back, as always.
And we will see you guys on Thursday. But in the meantime, go Devils. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.